means I've made my whole career about looking after my own children because I can't be bothered to hold down a full-time paying job. Now, for those of you who don't know what a stay-at-home mom is, it's basically the new millennium way of saying housewife. Because none of us ladies would really want to admit to being housewives and all the connotations that has. So we call ourselves stay-at-home moms. But it's a bit like calling a toilet cleaner a sanitary engineer. Because you're still dealing with shit, you've just given it a different title. And that's exactly the same with stay-at-home mom and housewife. Same shit, different title. But I have discovered there's an implication with the new millennial term of stay-at-home mother, and that is that you could have had an interesting career. And this is because of people like Gwyneth Paltrow or Chelsea Clinton, who's recently given up her $600,000 a year job to concentrate on motherhood. So the implication is that had she decided to carry on, she'd have had that job, but she gave it up to be a stay-at-home mom, which suits me fine. I love it. I love that idea, because as well as sounding better than housewife, stay-at-home mom also sounds better than failed actress, which is the job that I had before I had my child. So I realise there's probably a lot of you out here that don't have any children, and you're thinking, what's she going to talk about that can possibly interest me? Well, let me just tell you, being a stay-at-home mom is not a hard job to do. It's not hard at all. It's just really, really boring. Children, young children, are like people who are extremely drunk or totally high. And as their parent, you're like the designated driver who stays sober throughout the whole thing. Because they're either no concept of time, no concept of danger, always got the munchies, and find everything hysterical, especially the more annoyed you get with them. So let me just give you an example. I have 3 children, and you've been to the party, you know how it is, you're the sober one, all your friends have had a great time, you've got to drive them all home, it takes you 5 hours to get them in the car because they don't want to leave, just one more song, one more dance, one more joint, whatever. You get them in the car, 2 of them crash and burn, but there's always one, isn't there? Always one that wants to stay awake, and that's usually my youngest. So we get in the car, I click her in, we start, and she says, "Are we nearly there yet?" "No, darling, we just got in the car." "Okay." "Are we nearly there yet?" "No, you just asked me that 10 seconds ago." "Oh, it seems like a really long time." "Oh, are we nearly there yet? Let's just play a game, shall we? Because this is going to go on for 30 hours until we get home." So we decide to play I Spy, and she starts, because she's the youngest. So she says, "I spy with my little eye something beginning with truck." And we play with sounds because she's 5 and she can't read and write. So I say, "Okay, is it tree?" "No, Mummy, it's not tree. Do you give in?" "No." "Is it truck?" "No, Mummy, it's not truck. Do you give in?" "No." "Is it train?" "No, Mummy, it's not train. Do you give in?" "No." And this goes on for 5 minutes, and you start saying, "Is it traffic?" "No, Mummy, it's not traffic. Do you give in?" "No." "Is it trunk?" "No, Mummy, it's not trunk. Do you give in?" "No." "Is it truck?" "No, Mummy, you've already said that. Do you give in?" "No, I don't." And this goes on for another 5 minutes. And you say, "Is it transsexual?" "No, it's not transsexual, Mummy. Do you give in?" "No." "Is it transvestite?" "No, Mummy. Who is a transsexual? Never mind." "Is it transgender?" "No, Mummy. Do you give in?" "Yes, all right, I'm giving. What is it? What word can you possibly know that begins with truck that I don't? What is it? What? What is the word?" "Berry." "Berry? Yes, Mummy, yes." And I realised prescription drugs than I have. So I say, darling, we're playing I Spy. I can't see any fairies. And she's like, but they're everywhere, Mummy. Can't you see? Can't you see? And you're totally screwed at this point. Because either you have to ruin her illusions and say, no, they're not, because they don't fucking exist and you're just bloody cheating. Or you have to say, but darling, because you still haven't let go of that anger. So you say, but darling, fairies begins with the letter F. Like a lot of other fuck words I can think of right now, which are totally inappropriate to tell you. They don't begin with tr, like tree, truck, everything else I've been saying for the last 15 minutes. I know, Mummy, but that's the sound they make. So, yeah, you think it's sweet now, don't you? So I've prepared a checklist for those of you who don't have kids, which I wish somebody had warned me about before I had mine. Sorry, I need these. If you're going to have kids, you need to know you're going to spend an eternity. Can't see you now. You're going to spend an eternity answering questions like, where's my coat? Where are my shoes? Where did I put my bag? You're going to sit down to supper every night and hear, oh, I don't want to eat this again. Oh, haven't you made anything else? You're going to hear arguments like this. Blah, 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 blah. You're going to spend an eternity picking up socks. Oh, sorry. It's the wrong list. This is my reasons not to get married list. Anyway, and I know at this point, a bit like Brian, I should say those lovely Hollywood endings like, how sweet, I love my kids, but they halved my dose of Zantac, so I can't get there right now. But I would just like to say, you've been a great audience, have a good rest of the night. Thank you very much.
Denise McNee! Come on! Say hi to the babies.
What? Yeah, I know. You don't exist. You don't exist. Just my imagination. It's very hard. It's very hard to have children, you know, and for me it's worse because all the women think that the men are very immature, okay? And my job in Rome is to do a radio show here about prank calls. And it's not the best way to introduce a grown man to a woman, okay? And so I had a lot of problem about it. But the thing that I don't understand is that when you have a woman, all the women think that the men are immature, but all the women call their man with a pet name. What is this? What is this? What's happening there? You know, we have a very stupid Italian pet name in a couple. Cici, Cipucci, Patato. My ex-girlfriend told me, Patato. It's terrible because it's schizophrenic, you know. They said, you have to grow up, Patato. You have to be a man, Patato. Get your responsibility, Patato. What is an English, a British, or an American pet name in a couple? Come on.
Google.
Sweetie?
PewDiePie.
PewDiePie. Good, Fernando. And what about you? Good, this is good. Another one? PewDiePie is very good. PewDiePie, is this true?
Yeah.
PewDiePie. How? The women, okay. How could you ever fuck with a man who just have called PewDiePie? Give it to me, PewDiePie. Take me. PewDiePie. It's terrible, you know? And now it's hard because you know, at the beginning of a relationship, everything is very good because you're in love, and for example, I have a friend of mine who's very lovely with his new girlfriend. He's hanging out with a new girlfriend, and he say, ah, she's different. She's not like the others. You know, she loves traveling. She loves taking pictures of her feet and post it on Facebook. She loves driving.